Hello everyone, it's Tim, and I'm here to talk with you about the Scalper in this video. Scalper is a very exciting tool, very powerful tool that gives you a number of different capabilities right in one. It also offers you a lot of sort of fast twitch control, and it gives you also really simple ways to switch between a few presets. And there's a few ways you can tweak it to give you even more kind of predefined setups. Now, the scalper is actually, because of that complexity, there is a lot to the scalper. So I want to encourage you to read the manual page, the Trader Evolution manual on the scalper, and also just take the time to explore it. Make sure to explore it with small sizes. And this video is going to be more of an introduction to the topic and a place for you to start exploring. So let's take a look at the scalper. Got it up here. And you can see there's a lot going on already. So I'm going to just point out a couple of the key features here. These are the impulse indicators. And these are also going to the same things, which are I've got them set to SPY, QQQ, and IWM. But basically, these are just showing what's going on in whatever things you want to monitor, right? You need to tune the volumes of these to be useful. This is showing recent trades that have happened. This is the order book. These are the sizes you're going to trade with. If I go here, I can now buy, right? And you can just see it just instantly opened up a position for me. And I can then wait until I get a good position. We'll see if this, but I can then, again, with a hotkey, I can just immediately reduce my position as well. So, fortunately, the market closed, so my order settings, I'm not sure right there, but, and there we go. You can see I just press that key and it clears it off. Now you have a couple different options for your keys. You can open the position, you can close it, and these actually do add on and remove full size as well. Basically, you define your full size that you want, you define your increments, right? And you can have that for growing and reducing a position. And then what you do is you can start your position. And when you get to a good point that you want to take some off the top, you can just reduce it by your preset interval. What's really handy with the scalper is that if you look on here, you see these areas along the bottom. These are the different size presets that you can have set. You can actually switch between small, medium, and large. And you can also, even if you have multiple scalpers on the screen, the settings for this are individual to each scalper. You could actually have a set of presets. You could have several of them up at a time, one for maybe large caps, one for small caps, and you could just, pick which one you're trading in, and then you just quickly pick between these sizes, and from there, the keys, just do whatever you want. You can also toggle whether the bracket settings will be on for the order or not, and all those presets are tunable. So, of course, here's your order. So you'll see right here also, toggle a bunch of these on and off, and you can turn mouse trading on and off. You can turn whether they are armed, so to speak, on and off. So let's go ahead and take a look. And don't worry, if you right click over here in this kind of main area, it doesn't do anything. So about that. So let's go into settings and look at that. And you'll see here we've just got some layout settings, and already there's, look at all this. Now some of these do not apply to, actually these do apply. So some of these relate to if you have multiple orders going, and some of these are just general settings. Now these here are not the best quantities. One thing you should be aware of right from the get-go is the position limit. This is 10. So my typical largest position here. But what I would suggest doing is, for early on, maybe put it at some number of shares. It's not too big, that won't cause an issue with your account, but that'll give you a little bit of room to practice opening a position, adding to it, removing from it, and reducing it, and going from there. So this, And if you want to have the automatic stop losses, you can have these set up. Again, these you can, these are all per scalper. So you could have a couple different scalpers. You could have them side by side, or you could have them in different tabs that you can switch between. So I'm going to just change this. And now I'm going to go ahead and do this with my small ones here. So I like to do these in sets of 3s. So here I'm going to do this. So basically I set my base quantity, and then I set what happens if I say add to this position, or I say take away from this. These can be symmetrical or they can be asymmetrical, right? So here, when I add on, because I want to just like get a bunch more that I'm going to then plan to do several scalps of, right? So I have, when I increase this quantity 3, the 450, an increase would add 150. That would take it to 600. And then if I hit the decrease button, that would take it to 550, 500, and so on. And here you can actually even tune your buy and sell, right? So there's buy and sell. That uses the working quantity. And then there's increase and decrease. And those use those. Now these, there's a lot of customization you can do here too, right? You can have it offset from the last price, from the ask, from the bid. You could have it use market orders. You can have it use volume actually, and you can, this offset, you can select whether it's more or less aggressive. Again, that's where you're going to want to read the manual and just get into the real specifics. But the default settings, if you're willing to just accept a little bit of slip, a little bit of sloppiness, the default settings are great for getting into and manipulating a position. And of course, you can drag those. Here, just have the chart, and here I can set this to show trades and quotes. That's going to get even busier. So now we've got the bid and the ask going on behind as well. These bubbles are the sizes of trades that have. You can set it to show only certain sizes of trades. You can set it to highlight large trades. Got the market depth, ton of options here. And as I said, you can customize the impulse indicators. Now, the big thing you want to be aware of, if it just maxes out, if it's solid, then you want to change the volume. You want to increase this volume so that it maxes out less. You can just tune a lot of detail. And finally, you can have optionally, you can have overlays. Those could be the same as in the impulse, or those could be. So yeah, those are just a few of the capabilities of the scalper. And what I'm going to do also, what you can do is you'll see here, if I hover over this, then this is just the ladder, right? This is the DOM. And if I hold down shift, it changes to stop limit. And if I hold down, so I can just put a buy order down here, right? 2042 buy, and you can see there's a buy order for that 450. Now I click it again, that's going to add another order, right? Click on that order itself, it removed. So here's where my working orders are. I click them, they cancel away. But I can also drag them. You'll notice right now there's no stop loss, no profit on that order. But if I enable that feature, I'll do the take profit just so you can see. If I click on this side, nothing happens. On the left side, and you can see my take profit is there attached to this. So now if I switch here, right, my quantity, then immediately see the order that goes in. I could even get fancy if I wanted and enter different orders, and you can see this shows the cumulative size. So some of the basic hotkeys, and again there are many, so you'll want to read the manual on those functions in detail, and you'll want to practice with those. But basically I can use up to open my position, or to basically buy with my working quantity. I can use the down arrow to close my position, or at least to sell my working quantity. I'm not actually sure if that's reduce only, so I will need to comment on that and maybe edit that in. Maybe and the ramifications of some of these with as you get on the edges of the order size, or something we could go into in greater detail. But I would suggest just when you need to reduce it, you can just go with the left and right arrows to add and to remove, and to reduce and add, or add and reduce. And that's basically it for the basic functionality. I mean, if you set this up, that basic setup, You can then just use the arrow keys and the price ladder here and your working orders panel. Pretty much do anything you need to do. So I encourage you to take a look at this, try it out. But again, try it slowly, be patient. There's a lot to the scalper, but it is a really rewarding tool. Take the time to get into it. And of course, come on the Discord and trade with us if you join any of our group trading sessions, or you have questions once you've tried it out. You are going to be encouraged to read that documentation. You're going to be encouraged to do some experimentation yourself, because there's so much to explain. You need to really just try it out. That's the only way to get the knack of the scalper. But if you're trying that out and you have questions, feel free to ask. And if you want to see it in action or want to use it and show others, join any of our group trading sessions, and we'll make use of that sometime. I do from time to time. It depends on my trading style that day. Cheers.